2.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mayor Cyril Jefferson convening a meeting for the City of High Point Finance Committee. I'm standing in for Mayor Pro Tempore Britt Moore, who's chairman of this committee. He, along with Councilmember Holmes, are representing the city at National League of Cities. They've got a number of committee meetings this week that they've got to be at, and we appreciate their advocacy and their representation and wish them well in terms of doing the city's business. Here with me on the dais, I have Council members Peters and Andrew with us for our meeting, as well as all of our city leadership to discuss today's items. At this time, I'll go ahead and call the meetings to order. We'll begin with our first item for presentation, item 2025-272, consideration of an agreement with the Ferguson Group. For this item, I'll ask Managing Director Jerron Hollis if he'll share more.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of the committee. The item you have before you is an agreement with the Ferguson Group where we will, for the period from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, enter into a contract with them. They are our Washington, D.C. lobbyist. As far as the highlights, since 2022, they've been able to not only help us secure over $12 million in federal funding, but they've supported us in infrastructure, public safety, economic development endeavors. Staff is requesting an approval of this agreement with the Ferguson Group in an amount not to exceed $97,610 and authorize the appropriate city official to execute all necessary documents. Open for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hollis. Are there any questions from council? No. Questions? If not, then I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Hollis.
Thank you.
Item 2025-273, consideration of a contract with First Citizens Bank. Council is requested to consider a 5-year contract, the annual amount of $431,431.54. For this item, I'm going to ask our Director of IT, Mr. Adam Ward, to present to council.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. The agenda item before you is for the approval of a leasing contract with First Citizens Bank in the amount of $2,309,792.45 to replace 3 end-of-life Nutanix infrastructure clusters. These clusters support core city services, including online payments, permitting, records, and 911 emergency dispatch. The replacement includes DR counterparts, real-time replication and failover, ensuring uninterrupted access and system reliability. The lease term is 59 months with annual payments of $461,958.49. The equipment will be procured under NCPA contract from ARC Technologies Consultants. You may notice that the physical agenda copies at the dais differ slightly from the digital copies that you received earlier. This was due to the original lease from KS State Bank was bank qualified. At the request of the Finance Department, the lease was revised to a non-bank qualified loan, and that required us to switch to First Citizens Bank. Funds are available in the FY 25-26 budget, and we respectfully request the approval of the contract and the authorization for the appropriate city officials to execute all necessary documents.
Mr. Ward, thank you. Are there any questions from the committee?
I do, Councilman Andrews. So we moved from KS Bank to First Citizens. Annually is about 431. Now it's going about 461. The old one that I read this weekend was about 1.968 million. Now we're going to 2.3. Can you explain the difference?
Yes, when we had shifted from the or to a non-bank qualified loan, that drove the interest rate from 4.759 to 4.99. That request was due to the fact that we've taken out $10 million in bonds that are tax exempt. So it was a requirement that we make that change.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Andrew. Any other questions from the committee? Mr. Ward, thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve item 2025-273. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize the Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it. That motion carries. Next item is item 2025-274, consideration of a purchase from Excel Truck Group. Council's requested to consider this purchase from Excel Truck Group, and to hear the presentation, or to give the presentation, we have Mr. Kevin Rogers, our Director of Fleet.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, the Streets Division is currently utilizing dump trucks that need to be replaced due to age, condition, and mileage. Excel Truck Group has a 108 SD Freightliner Plus single axle and double axle with Godwin dump bodies that will meet their needs. The price of $200,692 is for the single axle and $248,840 is for the double axle. And these both are under the NC Sheriff Association 2016-0422 contract. Price of two is $449,532. Delivery is estimated to be less than 365 days. Funds are available in the 25-26 budget. And the Fleet Service Department recommends purchasing these trucks from Excel Truck Group. And also in the recommendation is declaring the current trucks as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from council for Mr. Rogers?
I do. Are these trucks used exclusively for the snow plow and the brine, or do they have any other usages?
They, let Robbie kind of answer that, so.
Hey, Robbie Stone, Public Services. Yes, these trucks are used throughout the year. It does talk about the brine tanks and all being associated with them, but throughout the year, we'll use them to pull our equipment out to various job sites, and maybe pulling a trailer with a mini excavator on it, doing ditch work or pipe replacement, things like that as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I prefer him to answer that question since they said.
Any other questions from the committee? At this time, I'll make a motion to approve item 2025-274. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it. That motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you.
We've got you actually again here for item 2025-275, consideration of a purchase from Alltech Industries.
Yes, sir. The electric department's also, it's using a 2015 Ford F-750 with an Altech AA55E body. It also has reached an end of useful life just due to high usage in the bucket assembly and also the chassis. Altech Incorporated has a Freightliner M2106 Plus with an Altech AA55E bucket that will continue to meet their needs. This also falls under the Sourcewell contract 110421 ALT. A 2026 model truck will continue to meet their needs. The price of $322,313 is for the truck, training, extended warranty, and delivery. Estimated delivery is less than 365 days. Its funds are available in the 25-26 budget. And Fleet Services recommends purchasing this unit from Altech Industries. And recommendations also include declaring the current truck as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you.
You said that this vehicle is for the electric department.
Electric Department, yes.
Okay. Are there any questions from the committee? Questions? Now I'll go and make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Mr. Rogers, we're going to transition 2025-276, consideration of a purchase from Piedmont Trunk Center for a Ford F-550.
Yes, sir. The Environmental Services Division is currently utilizing an Isuzu truck with a rear packer body that needs to be replaced. Piedmont Truck Center has the Ford F-550 truck with Diamondback 8-yard body that will continue to meet their needs. The price of $153,583.46 is for the truck, body, and training. And also, this is under the North Carolina State Contract number 2510A. It's a 2025 Ford 550. The delivery is estimated to be less than 365 days. Funds are available in the 25-26 budget. Fleet Service Department recommends purchasing this unit from Piedmont Truck Center, and recommendations also include declaring the current truck as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee regarding this item?
No.
Now, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve item 2025-276. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Finally, Mr. Rogers, item 2025-277, consideration of a purchase from Piedmont Truck Center.
Okay, thank you, sir. Again, the Environmental Service Division is also using Peterbilt trucks with New Way side loading bodies that also have higher hours and excessive usage on the trucks. The trucks are used for residential garbage collection and need to be replaced. The Dennis Eagle trucks with New Way side loading refuse body configuration is also is like the current bodies that they're using now and will meet their needs. The price of one truck is $415,295.64. The total for three is $1,245,886.92, which includes 3 trucks, refuse body installation, extended warranty, training, and delivery. These all 3 do fall under the NC Sheriff's Association procurement contract number 2610-0422. Delivery is estimated at less than 365 days. Funds are available in the 25-26 budget. Fleet Services Department recommends purchasing these trucks from Piedmont Truck Center, and recommendations also include declaring the 3 current spare trucks as surplus and disposing through the online auction process.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Any discussion on this? Any questions? Now I'll go and make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize Councilman Peters. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that
Thank you.
motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you.
Next, we'll invite up Ms. Nina Wilson, our Community Development and Housing Director, for item 2025-279 and item 2025-297. First will be consideration of a contract with Housing Consultants Group. Ms. Wilson?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of the committee. I am Thanina Wilson, the Director for Community Development and Housing. The item that you have before you is a contract with Housing Consultants Group to administer our affordable housing programs. Staff is requesting, we solicited proposals for the administration of the program, and that would include pre-purchase and post-purchase housing counseling, homebuyer education, financial literacy classes and lender trainings, marketing, promotion, and outreach for the city's homebuyer program, homebuyer loan underwriting, as well as homeowner repair eligibility intake. Based on evaluation of the proposals submitted, staff recommends awarding the contract in the amount of $99,700 to Housing Consultants Group. As the demand for housing services related to homelessness or to the unhoused, rent and utility assistance, eviction prevention, and resource navigation, administration of the affordable housing program being outsourced will expand our staff's capacity to assist in other areas. Funds are available in the fiscal year 2025-26 budget. City Council is requested to consider a contract with Housing Consultants Group in the amount of $99,700 for the administration of the affordable housing program, and authorize the appropriate city official to execute all necessary documents.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Are there any questions from the committee for staff on this item?
No question, just a comment since I'm on the liaison for the Citizens Advisory Group. May I have a list of a schedule for the homebuyer classes, or are they ad hoc and just come up as necessary?
No, they are actually held monthly. Our meetings are the 3rd Saturday of each month. We kind of partner with Greensboro, so
Okay.
classes are available the 1st and 3rd Saturday of each month, and they are virtual. So what I will do is I will have staff provide you with the link to that
Wonderful.
website where individuals can register for the classes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have an appreciation, given everything we've been navigating here in the city as well as around the country with regards to the housing crisis. So appreciate that we can do work like this. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I'll make the motion. You'll second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, that motion passes. Ms. Wilson, we'll transition to item 2025-297.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is consideration of a contract with Community Housing Solutions to undertake the Operation Inasmuch event. Staff request approval of the contract with Community Housing Solutions to fund materials and operational expenses associated with the Operation Inasmuch event for the fall of 2025. The upcoming event will be on Saturday, November 1st, in the Macedonia Pershing neighborhoods. The amount allocated for the contract is $100,000. The fall event will be the 17th Operation Inasmuch event since May of 2016. Volunteers are utilized to complete home repairs, ramps, painting, and needed yard work. And to date, there have been approximately 1,800 volunteers who have donated their time and energy to assist 206 households. Funds are available in the fiscal year 2025-26 budget. City Council is requested to consider a contract with Community Housing Solutions in the amount of $100,000 for operational expenses associated with the Operation Inasmuch event for fall 2025, and to authorize the appropriate city official to execute all necessary documents.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Any questions from the committee on this item? Nope. Please remind me, which neighborhood will we be in this fall?
Macedonia Pershing. So it does straddle University, but we will be looking at both of those communities. So it's just east of Burns Hill, across University as well.
Okay. Awesome. At this time, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second made by Councilmember Andrews. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Next, for items 2025-286 and items 2025-287, we'll invite up Ms. Melinda King, Assistant Public Services Director. First item, consideration of reimbursement agreement with AT&T. Ms. King?
Good afternoon, Mayor and committee members. This is for the relocation of the AT&T fiber line that runs between, along Kersey Valley Road between Kivett and Cachette for the final expansion of the landfill, which is the connection of the old landfill to the new landfill, which gets rid of Kersey Valley Road. So the first step was to relocate Kersey Valley Road. AT&T does not allow anyone but their contractors to relocate their fiber lines. Now that the road has been relocated and is open, we have secured this agreement with AT&T for them to relocate their lines in an existing easement. So this is for all of the design, engineering services, the actual relocation by their staff. So we are asking you all to approve this agreement with them for $373,005.69.
Thank you, Ms. King. Any questions from the committee on this item? If not, then I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, made by Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Ms. King, next item is item 2025-287. I'll go ahead and pass to you to discuss this one.
Okay, so we have compactors at our landfill that are utilized to compact the trash. The more we can compact in an efficient manner, the more airspace we can get out of the landfill, which extends the life of the landfill. We have requested the purchase of 2 GPS systems to go in the compactors. It actually tells on a screen the compact operator how many passes they need to get then the correct compaction amount, what side slopes are needed so that we can stay within our state requirements. We can also put anything in there that they would need to be aware of out on site that they don't hit or run into. So this is for the purchase of those 2 compactors that will be, the 2 units to be on the compactors themselves that are GPS controlled, and then base stations so that they have the correct signal. And then it also provides software for the office staff to be able to live watch the compactors as they are out in the field, discuss with the operators if there are any issues, and then also pull reports. We're required yearly to submit to the state the airspace report, so this will also assist in that as well. So we are requesting the approval of this with JobSite Technologies. We did bid. They were the only bidder on the project, and so they came in at $124,795.
Thank you, Ms. King. Have we used this contractor in the past for this for similar service?
We've used them for a lot of different things out there at the landfill, but this is the first time we've purchased this software.
And
Yeah.
to your point, it'll enable us to optimize what we've got there in terms of the landfill.
Correct,
And extend
yes.
the life of it.
Correct, yes, that's the plan.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, just for clarification, we sent the bid out, but they were the only company to respond. So
Correct,
it's not
yes,
technically
and
a
it
sole
was-
source bid.
Yeah, it was an informal bid, and so we could open with just one bidder.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions from committee? No, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, made by Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes having that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. King. Next, we recognize Mr. Robbie Stone, our Director of Public Services, for the next several items. First is consideration of a task order with Hazen Condition and Operational Assessment. Mr. Stone.
Mayor and council, thank you. So this is for to consider a task order with Hazen for the professional engineering services to do a condition and operational assessment at our Eastside wastewater treatment plant. This plant, the last upgrade at this plant was back in 2000. That expanded our operating capacity to 26 million gallons per day. As the wastewater environment is a very hazardous environment and very difficult on the equipment and the machinery there, and we're looking to do this assessment to basically help us better prove and provide a long-term plan for our CIP planning so we can better predict when we need to upgrade materials, when we need to upgrade facilities, and basically have that in place. We've had a few instances where things have broken and it was not predicted properly, so we want to go ahead and have this detailed assessment and condition assessment. Funds are available in the current budget for this. We are asking this be awarded to Hazen in the amount of $350,000.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Please clarify for me. I know that we had a lot of heavy rain here lately. Was this one of the stations impacted by that heavy rain in terms of any flooding?
So this was our Eastside wastewater treatment plant. The rain did impact it, but it did not have any negative impacts at this location. The negative impacts were at our other facility. They saw more rain at other facility. Both facilities are functioning and operating properly now, though.
Thank you. Please give our appreciation to all of the staff.
Yes, sir.
Not only in your department, but departments all across the city, including law enforcement, fire, and so many others. I know our 911 telecommunicators were working around the clock during the storms, and we appreciate management and every staff member involved in ensuring that folks remain safe during the storm and that things remain as operational as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, whenever a storm hits, I'm always glad that I'm on City of High Point Electricity instead of someone else.
Right.
I won't name them, but
Yes,
instead of
sir.
someone else. So,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to make a motion to approve item 2025-284. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize the Councilmember Peters. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? That motion passes. Next item is item 2025-285, consideration task order with Hazen Tertiary Filtration Study. Mr. Stone?
Thank you. This is another task order with Hazen for the professional engineering services to perform a study for the tertiary filtration system at our Eastside wastewater treatment plant. We do have a master agreement for professional services with Hazen. We have two tertiary filtration facilities at Eastside wastewater treatment plant. The one that we're focusing on is filters 1 through 4. They were put in about 1985, and they've just reached the end of their useful life. So we've asked Hazen to come in and do a thorough investigation and help us determine, do we need to go back with the same type of system? Do we need to look at some newer systems that have been developed since then? Funding is available in our current budget for this, and we're asking to award this to Hazen in the amount of $140,000.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Any questions from the committee? This, along with the previous assessment, will all be needed for us in terms of the CIP to know.
That's correct.
About future capital improvements.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay. I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Next item is consideration of a task order with HDR Engineering Incorporated for the Shady Brook Lift Station.
Thank you. This is another task order with HDR Engineering for the professional engineer services to perform the design of the Shady Brook Lift Station and associated sanitary sewer system. We do have a master agreement with HDR Engineering. Shady Brook Lift Station has a lift station that has seen some capacity issues, and we're currently taking this current lift station has a capacity of 1.7 million gallons per day, and we're looking to expand this to 4.83 million gallons per day. This project would also have some other associated work with the gravity sewer and the force main associated surrounding that pump station. Funds are available in the current budget for this, and we are asking this to be awarded to HDR Engineering in the amount of $2,106,000.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions from the committee? Yeah, this is important to hear. We've been having discussions now about the growth of our region and the growth of our city in terms of population. And while we're trying to sustain and prepare for that, the infrastructure needed to be able to do that is certainly a heavy lift, no pun included or intended. But this here being able to increase our capacity potentially from 1.7 million to 4.8 million, I think is really crucial and will be necessary to support the growth that's happening here in our city. So glad to hear about that and looking forward to what comes as a result. At this time, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second recognized to Councilmember Peters. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Finally, Mr. Stone, item 2025-300, consideration of a task order with HDR Engineering for the Ward Water Plant Filters Rehabilitation Project.
Thank you. So this is another task order with HDR Engineering for the Ward Water Plant Filter Rehab Project. The city has a master agreement with HDR Engineering. This plant has going through a comprehensive overhaul, filters 1 through 4. This does include replacement upgrades of those filters, along with several associated piping, actuator valves, and sensors and other controls. This will consist of construction administration, contract administration, and project representative on site for 18 months during the construction period there. Funds for this project are available in our 25-26 budget, and we're requesting that this be awarded to HDR Engineering in the amount of $736,500.
Awesome. Any questions from the committee? This time I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second recognized Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes.
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Stone. Next, we recognize Ms. Angela Kirkwood, Director of Human Resources for the City of High Point. Item 2025-289, consideration of a contract amendment with Evergreen Solutions.
Good afternoon, Mayor, committee members. This is a request for a contract amendment with Evergreen Solutions and the City of High Point for our classification and compensation study, Phase 2. In October of '24, the City of High Point partnered with Evergreen Solutions to conduct our class and comp study. And Evergreen uses a hybrid model for the study, and that's basically they look at the time in your current grade, your tenure with the city, as well as market study. Evergreen completed Phase 1 of the class and comp study during fiscal year '24-25, and that included 398 city employees in 138 unique job titles, with the study results that were just effective June 29, 2025. This amendment will allow them to complete Phase 2 of the study for the remaining 1,016 full-time employees that are in 375 unique job titles. These studies are essential to ensure that there is market and internal job alignment, and that our salary ranges are competitive with municipalities our size. The estimated costs are $117,000. There are funds in the budget, the current budget, fiscal year 25-26, and council is requested to authorize the appropriate city officials to execute the contract.
Thank you, Ms. Kirkwood. Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yes.
So were you real pleased with the recommendations that came out of the Evergreen Solutions?
Very pleased.
Okay,
This
good.
was the first time that we had a consultant that focused on grade penetration based on your time in the current grade and your time with the city. So it gives some compensation and credit towards your loyalty to being a city employee. So
Okay,
that
good.
was very unique for us and very positive.
Good. And then as far as employees, and how they were impacted, were they real pleased with implementation of some of the recommendations?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Everything was just implemented this week.
Okay.
The good thing about this is I normally have the opportunity to meet with management's debriefed. They have the opportunity to hear the results, and then I meet with all of the directors and have the opportunity to go over the results with the director. So by the time the employees receive their updated information from the study, there has been a lot of communication. Any discrepancies, we've had the opportunity to address those before the notices are released.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have just one note.
Yes.
Does the study handle, I know there's a lot of complaints about compression, top and low end. Obviously, my assumption is they take that into account in the study.
Exactly, and that is where, looking at this hybrid model, it allows some credit for your time with the city as well as your time in your current grade, in addition to the comparison of the market data. So it eliminates some of the compression.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything in the industry that completely removes compression, but this definitely gives us a leading edge above some other studies that we've done in the past.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Kirkwood, thank you. I have another question.
Yes, sir.
And this is probably just because I'm thinking out a little bit. We get the study back for this last one, and I would imagine this last budget made some space in there, some contingency for what the study would recommend in terms of salary increases. So I think the budget that we're operating on makes room for that.
Correct.
We're going to assume that for this next one. Is that basically how it flows, is that each year we get the study back and we're able to know at that point and project for our budget, project forward what those increases are going to do?
Exactly. There are discussions with management as well as the budget office, and so we try and get this information back. We create a timeline with the vendor to ensure that we have this information while budget decisions are being made for 26, 27.
Okay. And I guess what's also on my mind, you mentioned 398 this first round, I think you said, or whatever you said.
1,016
for the second round.
Yes.
It wasn't like 50-50. The timing of that, is that more?
No, historically, we have done phase 1, 2, 3, where it, maybe 400 in each group. But this affords us the opportunity to pay attention to our employees, look at a shorter time period. And I think that was a really great move on leadership's part to look at the remaining employees in phase 2 so that, no one's waiting much longer than they normally wait. Because typically you would wait a 3-year cycle before you'd be evaluated. So this closes that gap. It makes us more competitive, and I think employees will be pleased.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Kirkwood. This time I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, recognize Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll ask our Deputy City Manager, Greg Ferguson, to present on item 2025-290, consideration of right of entry and release and deed of no build easement.
Thank you. These two items relate to the redevelopment of Showplace West into approximately 130 apartments and about 9,000 square feet of commercial space. The right of entry and release is related to the removal or modification of a structural seal that currently joins the city parking deck to Showplace West. This was constructed back in the early 1980s. It's desired to be removed so light can penetrate the first 4 floors of the property between the parking deck and Showplace West. If you think about apartments looking out the window right now, you would see a black void. So if some light can come into that space, you will see the parking deck wall, but there will be some light that would be able to be in the apartments on floors 2 through 4. And then you'd have the commercial space on floor number 1. So this would authorize the current owner, which is Forward High Point and the developer, Showplace West LLC, to accomplish that. And there's a drawing that shows the structural seal. It's a blue line that kind of shows it. It varies in width from 6 feet to 3 feet from Wren to South Main.
So this seal is just right on top. The seal will come right off the top.
So the seal currently is 3 sides. It goes from the sidewalk up, across the top, and down to the sidewalk
So they pull
again.
the whole, all
So
three
they'll
sides.
either pull and take out the entire structure, or they could just modify the top and remove it and put some other barrier that would allow light to flow down to those 4 floors.
Yeah, understood. Okay. Any questions for staff on this one?
So
Excited to hear.
the second item, and we kind of bundle these because they're both related. So there's a second item here, which is the deed of no-build easement. And so the current windows that are in the building have wire in them, and they will need to be replaced. So there's some state building code requirements that come into play, and the developer has worked closely with our inspections department to talk about options. And we have a new code option that's going to go into effect next year. And there is a NFPA, National Fire Prevention Association sprinkler wall curtain that can be used. But basically, you need 15 feet, 1 inch separation between the structures. So what we have proposed, and the developer has proposed, is a 15-foot, 1 inch no-build easement. So from the property line, which is approximately in the middle of that structural seal area, 15 feet to the top of the parking deck, as shown on the picture there, you would not be able to go vertical construction for that 15 feet. However, you can use the rest of the parking deck for recreation, gatherings, anything that the city might come up with in the future, you know, an urban park, but you could not do it within that 15 feet, 1 inch area.
Okay. And to your point, this helps facilitate the development there of roughly 130 apartments and 9,000 square feet of commercial space.
It does.
Any other questions from the committee?
I just have a comment. Great job and great partnership with the City of High Point and Downtown High Point, Inc. Rebecca, I know you've worked really super hard on this project for a long time, and it will be great to see that building restored and see people living in downtown, so thank you.
Agreed. Thank you. All right, at this time, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, recognize Councilmember Peters. Any discussion on this motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson. Next, we'll recognize Major Matt Truitt, our Assistant Police Chief, for item 2025-291, consideration of a purchase from Vista Outdoor DBA Keesler Police Support.
Good afternoon, thank you. We're requesting approval to procure our training and ammunition duty from, as you said, Vista Outdoor DBA Keesler Police Supply, not to exceed $134,763. The Police Department recommends approving and authorizing the purchase of the required training and duty ammunition in the stated amount of, again, $134,763, and the funds are available in the fiscal 25-26 year.
Thank you, Major Truitt. Any any questions for Major Truitt?
Use the 147 grain TMJ for training?
Repeat that, please.
The 147 grain TMJs for training? Just curious, so. Not that it matters, I'm just being a gun geek, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that must be.
I do have a detailed list of exactly what all encompasses in the order. If you like, I can go through each of
That's
these.
fine, I'll read through it, that's fine, thanks.
No, he'll meet you for a beer later to go over it, actually. At this time, I'll make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second?
Well, second.
Second, recognize Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on this? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, that motion passes. Thank you,
Thank you.
Major Truitt. Finally, we'll recognize Ms. Mary Sizemore, Director of our library here for the City of High Point, for item 2025-295, consideration of a contract with Mental Health Associates of the Triad. Ms. Sizemore.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. We are requesting that you approve a contract with Mental Health Associates of the Triad for the second year of social work services at the library. They have been providing social work since last August, and over that one-year span, they have had over 577 interactions in which they've provided employment and housing assistance, guidance in accessing Medicaid and health insurance, retirement, disability, and SNAP benefits. And these are services that library staff are not equipped to provide. They have also logged over 24 incidents in which they've responded to staff requests for de-escalation and crisis intervention. So we are requesting that you approve a contract in the amount of $156,344.18 for contracted social work at the library. Funds are available in the 25-26 budget.
Thank you, Ms. Sizemore. Any questions for Ms. Sizemore at this time?
Forgive my memory, what was the last year's amount, the initial amount?
It was a little over $136,000.
That's kind of what I thought. So we have about a 20-ish% increase from last time.
Yes, and there was a 4% increase in their health and benefits for the two workers. No, I'm sorry, a 4% increase. There was a 2% increase in their in the compensation liability. Plus, they moved the peer navigator to $20 an hour because that was in keeping with others. And these are positions that are very much in demand in this area. So we wanted to keep them. Plus, we have added more bus passes and more mileage for the staff because the peer navigator actually transports individuals to job interviews, to drug testing, to housing, whether it's in High Point or in Greensboro. So there was an increase in the cost.
Okay, thank you.
So I think, as you alluded there, Ms. Sizemore, some of that costs are for bus passes.
Yes.
For folks who use public transit here in the city of High Point.
Yes.
And it's good because if you need more bus passes, it means folks are getting helped and getting moved to job opportunities, so on
Exactly.
and so forth.
And they also have some part passes too to get people.
Yeah, of course, of course. Any other questions from Ms. Sizemore? If not, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes.
Thank you.
There will not be a presentation on item 2025-292. This item will instead be discussed by the full council on Monday, July 21st. Any questions? All right. Before we dismiss, any final words, comments, questions, anything?
I've got some comments. So it's going to be an exciting weekend in downtown and Core City, High Point. Tomorrow night's kickoff for the weekend is a great band at Cohab Space called Green Sky Bluegrass. They play all over the world, so it's a really treasure for us to get them. And then Carolina Core's playing Saturday night. So for all those who have not been to a soccer game, it's a lot of fun. And if you don't like soccer, still come downtown because the energy on Church and all around is amazing. So come downtown in Core City and spend your money, shop local, and let's increase our tax base.
I was going to say, Councilmember Andrews in Ward 5. There's no part of Core City in Ward 5, so. Any other announcements or anything? All right. Well, we'll just say thank you to all of our staff for helping us out with today's committee meeting. We'll look forward to convening the regular council meeting on Monday at 5:30 p.m. If all hearts and minds are clear, we'll consider this meeting adjourned. Thank you.